The first gift was water, the giver of all life. Second was the fish.
The Indian remembered how much fish was in the river.
Water is a big thing as Native Americans.
The hydroelectric system benefited everyone.
Everyone needs electricity.
But it really had negative impact on the tribes and on their cultures and on their livelihoods.
Our people have been here up to 40,000 years, since time immemorial, that we put everything aside, kind of renewed family ties, family histories, a sense of spirituality, a sense of worship.
And that's how we build relationships and interest in the local community.
The fishery down at Celilo was probably the biggest for the year.
But ultimately, what supported that kind of gathering, annual gathering, was the fishing that was happening there.
The annual average salmon catch at Celilo Falls was 1.9 million pounds.
And that fish filtered out throughout the region and fed thousands and thousands and thousands of people for generations.
Those fish, when they spawn, they bring tremendous amounts of marine nutrient back to those ecosystems.
What a magnificent story of life and creation that is.
The fishing sites and fast water of the river were inundated by the rising pool behind that project. A great and historic site on the Columbia had vanished.
And I don't think anybody quite comprehended at that time the changes that were going to be taking place on the river.
It's hard for us as non-tribal members to truly understand how important fish and wildlife are to the tribal culture and to them as people.
We weren't place-bound. We had this more dynamic interrelationships that we need to respect and renew.
We had to be good stewards or good managers of all of those things that the Creator gave to us.
Science went into, how we lived and operated and our culture and communities.
Tribes pay homage to the way that our natural systems work.
The impact of the dams was huge.
The problem was much more complex than initially understood.
We have fish ladders so that fish can go upriver. Coming downstream was another problem.
We had periods of time in which there weren't enough fish to hardly fish at all.
I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here today to witness a historical moment.
We're proud to join the tribes and the states in this public commitment here today.
On that day, we took a huge step for putting fish back into the river.
We believe in addressing the whole ecosystem in a holistic approach, and that includes hydrosystem operations, habitat restoration, and the appropriate use of hatcheries.
And natural resources are going to work together to rebuild our future.
We're working together to try to restore fish and wildlife in a fashion that is consistent with the tribe's values and reflects what they think are the right actions that need to be taken.
And they have thousands and thousands of years of experience working with these resources on this land.
The tribes over the years have amassed one of the most effective fisheries management forces in the world.
Well, this is Spring Creek, and it's our largest scale habitat restoration project that we've done to date.
If you take a look, you'll notice that the fish count has gradually escalated over that period. It has gone up and risen.
In our lifetime, we have seen 4, 5, 6-year-old fish coming back to the Shears Falls area. That we used to catch those at Celilo.
And so we try to stay focused on this each and every day about what kinds of things that we're doing and how it might land in the tribal world.
Bonneville is listening, and many other people in this region are listening to what the tribes have to say about salmon.
The production, the productivity of those runs are beginning to come back.
I think in a lot of ways our identity within the region is tied to those efforts.
things feel very different than the way they used to feel.
I think we've made tremendous strides.
We're not here for a minute or two.
We've got to manage for the 7 generations into the future.
We should stay the course.